Joining us this morning in Compass FM you're a day early. Dan Gordon, Mayor of the Waimakariri District. How are you?
Good morning, Kerry. I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good, thanks. You must be a wee bit busy tomorrow, is that right?
Yeah, well, I was. I'm not actually quite sure what's going on in the diary at the moment with COVID, because a lot of events and things have been cancelled at the moment. So it's a bit of a moving feast, and I've got to point with my secretary shortly. May know better about what's going on. But look, thanks for accommodating me a day earlier.
No worries at all.
May not have been needed after all, but we won't know that.
Hey, let's not worry too much about that. But we will make not so much a major announcement, but certainly an announcement that it's going to be 8:10 next Tuesday, pretty much onwards. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
thanks
and
for that.
that suits everyone here. Now, in the news at 8:00 this morning, we had a story from a Kaiapoi resident. His name is Ken Lack. He's saying that possibly the Waimakariri District Council have got double standards is the term that he used. He wanted to rebuild his house back after the earthquakes and other bits and pieces. He was told he wasn't allowed to, and now he's seeing a new sports pavilion being built on the area where his house stood. Is there double standards?
No, there's not. Firstly, if he's referring to the piece of land, I think he is, it's now been redesignated as Norman Kirk Park. And so what we've done is the land was red zoned, and it was a whole process that went through of consulting around regeneration, which led to softball diamonds, the pavilion to enable sporting there, BMX park, a whole lot of other things that actually got affected through the earthquake. So there's an area around Courtney Drive as well, which we're currently considering a community hub, which would be for croquet, a men's shed, and also a food storage for food, which supplies a lot of the food outlets. Our food banks throughout Waimakariri. So we're going through a process of talking with residents around that. I attended a meeting about 2 weeks ago, and it'd be fair to say that there was some robust feedback there, and we'll go through a process where we're listening to what people have to say. Ultimately, that land is red zoned, and where it has been well considered that it would be used for other purposes at some particular point in time. It's not satisfactory for residential, requires on both parcels of land much greater engineering standard than would be being put into a building that's used for changing, for instance. And that's why the government made the decision to red zone in the first place. Our council at the time had substantial plans for building riprap foundations and all the rest. In fact, we were due to enable that to go ahead, and then the government came and red zoned it. And but for most people, they were satisfied that process happened and it let them go forward. But I appreciate there's people like the individual you speak of that mentioned on the news there that are clearly upset about that and would have preferred to have built back. Hey, look, anyone like that and anyone that has any issues, they're more than welcome to contact me, and I'm happy to go through what our process is and explain exactly how we've got there. But council's definitely not two-faced.
Okay, Ken.
And we work hard for people every day.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go, Ken. The invite is there. You sort of understand. I can sort of understand that
I can too.
There's my house. I'm not allowed to rebuild it. Hang on, there's something being built on there. What the heck? But there is different rules for residential versus commercial.
It's just not economic to build those foundations back, and the best plan was developed at the time, which is what it is now. And then we went through, like, the regeneration process was huge in consulting with our community to say what could go back there. And we have to go through, like what we have down in Courtney Place, we'll have to go through a resource consent as well. So people fully will get their say on it, and ultimately that'll be a decision of council.
Talking about Cass Street, did you go to the Wellbeing Festival on the weekend?
Yeah, I did. I popped in. It was really good.
Did you get on an electric bike?
I saw them there, but no, I didn't pop on them. But I'm actually quite keen to get one. But this just got to work out what the best option is. But I haven't got one yet. Did you buy one, Kerry?
Well, no, I didn't buy one, but I did have a go at one.
Oh,
yeah, I did. I haven't been on a bike for a long time. Mellow Yellow, Alan was the guy down there.
He's from Lowburn Way.
Yeah.
So no, I'm quite keen to connect with him. Our council's looking at options. There's a local government scheme for e-bikes, so I'm quite keen to try one out and see what they're like. But I like cycling. There's times I was talking to someone last night that has an e-bike, and she was saying to me it just takes those edges off.
It is quite incredible. Seriously, I used to cycle a lot to go to work at a place in Christchurch. So I was a cyclist.
Yeah.
And you go into a northwest wind, it's not nice. and even going into a southeast wind, it's not nice. But my goodness, I was on there and went up through the gears, and I was travelling around 33, 34 k's an hour. I wouldn't have raised a sweat for 15 minutes. Easy. It was quite incredible. So if the Waimak District Council was looking at some sort of policy around them, then rip into it. You'd look good on a bike, man.
I've got a mountain bike, but I'd definitely like an e-bike. I think it'd be quite cool, but it's just like everything else. You've got to balance up because they're not inexpensive, but for your health and well-being, and if you can afford, lots of friends of mine have bought them.
Yeah.
And cycling's becoming really popular in our district now with the Northern Corridor open and the cycle lane through. There's a lot of people using it, which is really great, which is what we hoped would happen.
Yes,
and it is.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so with COVID level 2 kicking in on Sunday, that was a bit of a surprise on Saturday night. Things are changing, hence, you're in here today and possibly didn't need to be because of things that are going through the diary with Rosie a bit later on to see what you're doing. The Muri AMP show have pulled the plug. The Swananoa Country Fair, they've pulled the plug. It's just, it is what it is around the region, and we know what to do with this, don't we?
We do. Well, there's the Rekahuru Rage, there's a whole lot of things. Like yesterday, I had a full day of events to either open or be at, and in the end, it was a very light day because things got cancelled, and we're just used to flexing now, and it's all about being safe, so we follow what the guidelines tell us to do, and for event organisers, I feel for them. They put a huge amount of work into organising these events, and being an event organiser myself in the past, I know how much time and effort goes in voluntary work, but we're in an environment where we just have to learn to be able to be flexing, and I think we're doing that well, and I think most people that I talk to are understanding and calm about it. It's just the environment we're in, and as the PM rightly observed, that COVID, they know more than we do around these things, and they've got a lot more information, and they're just keeping our community safe. And look, we're really lucky in New Zealand. We have a lot more freedoms than a lot of other countries, so following what the guidelines tell us is the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Dan Gordon, Mayor of the Waimakariri District. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Look forward to it.
Around just after 8:10, around that particular time.
Compass FM.